I think I enjoy just creating the recipes myself because I always found a lot of joy in cooking and baking and, especially making traditional foods vegan and desserts, turning them vegan. It was also like my passion. And I think
Mhm.
food is so beautiful because it's like this alchemical process. And I always felt during the period of my life that I was very lost, I would say, like trying to figure out where I was going in my life. Because I couldn't finish anything, I took cooking as one of the things I could control. So I had to cook or bake or do whatever every single day because it's like I can start from all those ingredients that look like not that appetizing, and transform them into something really delicious and seeing the process, the transformation and the completion of something always brought me a lot of um, security and joy and, seeing the final result.
Mhm.
I think that was the
Yeah.
time, probably when I was 19, between 18 and 20. That's when that happened.
Mhm.
And that's when I really picked up like, like, I started to enjoy cooking.
Mhm. I
But
think I also like to cook at a time, but it was not because I wanted to complete something, but it was just because everything I did was with my mind and with my brain, and then doing something more manual and putting my hands into something literally. It made me feel good somehow, like focus on this craft and not with the mind. So my mind would quiet a bit. So it was kind of a therapy.
yeah, it is. Especially back home that we had a big kitchen and all the equipments we needed in a proper oven.
Yeah.
But
And for me, cooking's not like just like alchemy, like you said. For me, it's almost like magic. You
oh
know,
yeah,
you put this and that, and suddenly, boom, you have another thing. Amazing.
no.
Beautiful.
I think it was really fun. I mean, we cooked together quite a lot. I think sometimes,
Yeah.
especially making our muffins and cupcakes. Um, but I remember every single holiday, we kind of had to bring our own like main dish because our family it's not vegetarian, vegan, nothing like that. So we always had to think and prepare something that people could enjoy and we could enjoy as our main dish. And it was fun actually to introduce people to new recipes and show them how delicious they could be. Um, and I remember making things from scratch. That was what I really liked. So like making my own vanilla extract, like soaking the vanilla beans in whiskey for 6 months in the dark.
No, but that was like your precious extract. No one could touch it. I mean, you
No,
had the whole pot and then you said you can use it. But then if we used and didn't tell her, she would be like, who touched my vanilla extract? She'll be so angry at us. I'm like, I just used a little drop. Don't worry.
ah, but
You
when I
can
left home,
you can
they
become a
used a
little
lot.
bit possessive over your things.
I proved that I used to be like that, but now I like to share.
Now that
Um,
there's no one you like to share. Yeah, I feel the same.
I remember also making you know, like bread starter using raisins. And me and my dad, we tried to make the best bread starter we could. And his bread starter would die every time. So it was kind of a competition and I won.
I just remember the floating raisins. That's all. I don't know what you guys were doing. You're just like, oh, you're making raisins float. Amazing.
No, that's like it's very necessary to put the raisins in the water so it starts to ferment and then you put the flour and it starts to develop and becomes a starter for a sourdough. I mean, during quarantine, a lot of people are baking and got into sourdough breads and all those stuff, but we were doing this before it was trendy.
Love it. Also, I
Yeah.
remember when you tried to do the one that I talked before, panettone.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty fun. It's pretty
Yeah.
fun. I mean, you had to bargain with the owner of the the bakery to get some flour for your bread. Do you want to share
Let's
this?
explain. Because like the flour you buy it at the supermarket is not good for baking breads. It's just like you can bake cakes and stuff, but it doesn't have enough gluten. It doesn't have enough protein to develop the good quality bread. So I was planning to make this special bread for Christmas. But then I couldn't go like I don't know to one of those big supermarkets and buy the specific bread flour because it's so huge. It's huge. I wouldn't bake all of that. So I went to the bakery store, like to the bakery, and I just talked to the guy who worked there, like, please, can you sell me your flour? Just a little bit. And then he's like, why do you want the flour? Why don't you just buy the damn bread that I baked? So I was like, but I want to bake my own. So in the end, very controversial, but he sold us the flour. And he didn't
Yeah.
even know how much to charge for that because no one has asked him that before. And it was like an entire day of bread making.
Was it
And
cheap? I don't remember.
yeah, it was cheap. Yeah, it was fine. But the entire process took a long time. And like to properly cool the bread, you need to put a stick crossing over the thing and put inside a pan or a pot or whatever upside down so that it cools slowly and not have this like shock of temperature. And then I used every single pan in the house. And my mom, she couldn't even make, I don't know, lunch or dinner or whatever it was because I was using every single one we had at home.
It looked like a lot of bats hanging in the kitchen.
But it was delicious.
Yeah, it was. And then you gave as a gift, like a Christmas gift. The best gift ever, I think, are the ones that we
And
make
the
by ourselves.
chocolate Easter egg was also good.
Yeah. The drunken Easter eggs.
Yes. I kind of tried to make Easter eggs with like fillings high, like truffle, and but the recipe called for some kind of alcoholic beverage or liquor or whatever you had. But I saw the measure wrong and I put a lot,
Yeah.
like a lot. So when you ate the chocolate, you could really taste the alcohol. But it was delicious. Everyone loved it.
Yeah. It was a success.
It was a success. It wasn't for a child. Yeah. Children stay away from chocolate.